What's up, y'all? It's Vince. Welcome back to another video. So I had a thought the other day about people who kind of feel like, who have those days where they feel worthless. And I know that sounds kind of harsh, but I have those days. And I just thought that, like, these thoughts could sort of help other people, which is realizing that when you feel worthless, you just haven't figured out the value that you can offer. And everyone has value within them. They just don't know about it yet. Everyone comes from different circumstances, right? Life is totally unfair. And you can either fight that or you can accept it. And when you accept that, life is unfair, there are people who are born into great families of wealth. There are people born into families that are very poor, families that have terrible relationships or great relationships. It's all over the place, right? Just one example that you need to realize is that your story alone is already value to the planet, basically. So, for example, Yeonmi Park, the girl who escaped North Korea. Some people in her shoes would have given up and said, you know what, this is the worst circumstances ever. I have nothing else to live for. I got no other thing. I have nothing. Right? But for her story alone was of value to this world. She already had it within her. So her story alone, showing and enlightening where she came from, what still exists in this world, is just a small example of value that she could offer to this world. And she has a lot more that she probably hasn't even realized yet. But that alone, coming from wherever you've been from, because everyone comes from different circumstances, and for you to share where you've come from is already your value to this world. And that's just an example. You can offer way more. Maybe there are skills that you haven't even realized yet. Like maybe you're a good writer, maybe you're good at drawing. But J.K. Rowling, who didn't start Harry Potter until her like 30s or 40s, right? Or Colonel Sanders, who didn't start KFC until his like 60s, I think. So you may have this skill or talent that you haven't even come across yet in this world. So what really helps me is to realize that maybe I haven't found my value yet. I do know that I have it within me, and maybe I don't have what it takes to, or I don't have the required skills yet to tell my story, but I still have a long story ahead of me. And, there are millions of chapters that I'll be able to dive into, or skills that I can be able to work on, and realize that, what, I need to just take things slow, dive into things that I find interesting. And that's what's really helped me so far in my life, to discover new skills that I enjoy using, or finding new talents that I never even knew about. So far in my early 20s, being able to dive into things that I find basically just cool. Like that's one of the things that made me just dive into things, is just, I don't even ask myself. I'm like, this thing sounds cool. Why not do it? And once I dive into it, I go deep into a rabbit hole. I learn as much as I can about it, and practice it. I realized that, oh my gosh, I have a love for this thing, and I'm quite good at it. So for example, photography. I love taking photos. I didn't even know about it. I just thought it was, the moment I started seeing really cool pictures on Instagram, I always thought it would be cool to take pictures just like that. So that's what got me into buying my first camera. And then from then on, I went on a rabbit hole. I started buying a bunch of lenses. I have a whole collection of lenses right now. Like, here's my little... See, I have like a few cameras there. I got a few lenses, and especially the camera that I'm recording on right now. And that led me to getting onto YouTube and creating videos. And I have a love for creating videos. And I've had a love for it back then, even when I was a kid. But being able to dive into it back in my 20s with better equipment has, piqued my love for it a lot more. And that's just what's really cool about life, is that you're going to learn all these skills, experiences, talents that you don't even know about, that you had no idea you would even see yourself doing in a million years. You might be, maybe you'd be an astronaut. I don't know, something crazy. You don't ever know about. If Colonel Sanders can start KFC and become crazy successful, J.K. Rowling becoming a billionaire from writing Harry Potter, I'm pretty sure she came from a pretty bad background as well. But anyways, dive into interests and, discover as much as you can about yourself and the world. And you may find things that you didn't even see coming. So value comes in all shapes and forms that you just haven't realized yet. You have it within you already, and you have the power within you already. And maybe you don't want to use that yet to tell a story, but you still have far more values that you'll find that you can offer to this world. And you already have value because you're already enough. But that's just my thought, basically. So thanks for listening to my rant. And, I really hope that this helps you. But anyways, it's like almost 4 a.m. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one.